questions that you saw or not. I don't know.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there was the same questions.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so we're live. I think just gonna check the group. Oops. Yeah. Check the. Pretty awesome. So how's the weather where you are, Ines?
At the moment, it's pretty cold actually. This morning it was about 5 degrees. A little bit sunshine,
Yeah,
not too much.
It was cold.
So cold. It's not nice.
Not normal
for this time of the year. Well, it's April. I mean, but still, I need spring. A little bit sun, you know, that you can go out and do your stuff. Yeah, without a jacket on.
Short trousers.
Yeah, I miss that. Short trousers, t-shirt.
Yeah. Mike, are your storms over yet, or do you still have storms?
Man, it's been rainy here for a couple of days, but we're I don't know that this has been the worst year for storms that we've ever had. I mean, we've half of West Little Rock is just part of the nicest part of Little Rock was just wiped out, and the tornado went from all the way. It went through several towns, just one straight stretch. Just
crazy, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Just it's pretty wild, and so you know.
So you have a basement where you can go for shelter or something like that.
Have you seen how the Americans build their houses?
Yeah, the houses. Yeah, but maybe the basement is a little bit more.
Yeah, we don't have a basement. I have a truck, so we get in the truck and go the other way.
Okay, that's fine too.
Because gas is cheap, huh? It's cheaper than building a basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought everybody had a real basement there.
Yeah, you know that would be smart. And if our next house, we won't be here long, but our next house will definitely have something of that sort. Yeah. This one, we actually saw the trajectory of the tornado, and so I put my dogs all in the truck, and we took off. And sure enough, it came straight at us. So
must be so scary. I cannot imagine that something would be here.
I don't think we will have that in Germany.
Well, maybe sometimes, but not maybe very small. But
oh yeah, we have our tornado sirens here where I live. They go off every year, 2 or 3 times. So it's common, but it shouldn't. I wish it wasn't, you know.
But that's maybe also the reason why you guys have the houses built out of wood, because if a tornado comes, it could be that every year your house is blown away or something like that. I don't know. I can imagine, you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah,
maybe. We don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it would hit mine, and then maybe insurance would give me a new one.
But, I like that. Maybe next time.
Yeah, as long as I'm not here. As long as
we're not to the public.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So right now we have 27 people on, and I think we will wait till maybe 1 more minute and then we start off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and if for anybody who's on here, there's a link right here, right above I don't know why you tried that, but there's a link above the stream in Facebook, and if you'll click on that and give StreamYard permission, then all it'll do is whenever we post, like if you post a comment or a question, and then we throw that on the screen in the live, it will put your name next to it and your little profile picture. Other than that, it just says Facebook user, so nobody knows who's asking. So, like for example, Vin's, you know, has his name on it because he gave permission. So there's that.
All right, I think we start, right?
Yeah. Take it away.
So you want to start? Should I start?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead. You look more.
Ask some questions. Ask me something.
So, welcome everybody to our podcast tonight or today, depends on where you are. My name is Dominic. We have my co-host Mike, and today, special person on the podcast is Ines.
Hi there.
So, hello Ines. Thanks for being on the show tonight. And we got a pretty interesting topic today. It's about puppy development, because you are known as the best puppy builder out there on the planet. So that's what Bart says.
Yeah.
So no pressure, no pressure.
Okay. No pressure at all. All right. Well.
So maybe you just start with introducing yourself a little bit. I mean, I think everybody knows who you are, but
yeah. Well, I think so too. Well,
going.
I'm my father's daughter. I did a lot of training for my dad, the puppies in the beginning, but because it's not my dad's thing, like going out with the puppies and let them pee and poo. And he said, Ines, you can do that. And I love to do stuff like that and taking care of them and cuddle them and do all the beginning, basic stuff like leash work and put them in the box, learn them how to drive in the car and stuff like that. So I love that. And then when the pups were ready, my father took them over and did all the other work. So it was a really nice combination, actually. Yeah.
So, and when did you start doing the puppies? How old have you been?
Well, I was not that young. I mean, of course, if my dad had pups, I was always there, but I was not there. Like, it was not my work to do the pups, But of course, the pups were always with the kids and we did stuff with them, but I do not really remember that. So I think I was about maybe 16 years old when I started it, actually. Yeah, when I told my dad I want to do it with you together. Yeah, so it was not that early, actually. Yeah, but I did get a dog when I was about, I think, 12 years old. It was a Springer Spaniel, English Springer Spaniel, I think you say it like that. Seppa. That was my first dog, and it was for me fantastic feeling to have my own dog. I did everything with that dog, and it was really cool. Yeah. So.
Very nice.
So I guess we'll just jump straight into. Is that?
Yeah.
All right. Unless
so what we got is a few questions that I think are very, very special, very important that we got in the event group. And I think you saw the questions before, right?
Yeah, I saw some questions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think we just start with something easy, for the beginning.
Yeah, that would be nice. Not too complicated, but I will try my best, of course.
And then we also have a special question from someone special that we need to ask you. So
yeah, we'll get to that
later.
Is it my dad or
maybe?
It must be my dad or Michael.
She's keener than you think she is.
So.
All right. So the first question we got from Gosha, and she was asking, what is the most important thing to teach puppies first? And what should be the main focus for the first few months?
Well, for the beginning, we always did it like that. We went by car and took our pup, choose a pup. Sometimes I got to choose, but most of the times my dad had the last word. He said, no, that pup. So we took that one, we took it home in the car, and then the first thing we did actually was shower the dog already. Like, it just belongs to the whole get to know each other and get the smell a little bit away. I mean, it's normal if they come sometimes out of a litter that, pee and poo. So, and then we just take the pup, dry him off, and then we go out with the pup and let them pee and poo, stuff like that. That's very important. Put on a little collar, just a normal collar, of course, and then go out with the pup. The basic stuff, the first thing they need to learn to know is go by leash and do their stuff so they don't do it inside. And always be quick enough to go outside on time, before the pup does his thing. Yeah, stuff like that. And of course, feeding and see how much they like food or they don't. And yeah, that's very important, of course. And then driving with the car is a very important thing. So
Yeah.
we just take the pup and do stuff with them, go walking, and then they have to take a nap in the car, for example, in the box. You say
Yeah.
that, the box, you know what I mean? The traveling box in the car, you know?
Yeah. In the crate.
And also put the dog in the kennel for maybe 5 minutes. Before that, you let him pee. So that's the first week, I would say, or weeks. You have a lot of work with that. So it sometimes can take a long time before the dog does his, before they understand that. But then it goes quickly if they understand it like that. So that would be one very important thing, of course. And then it's what I always used to do is socializing the pups. So I just take them everywhere where I can. I must say, of course, back in those days, I didn't work. I worked for my parents, so I had all day time. So that's, of course, perfect because time you need, I mean, it makes it easier. Eh?
Yeah.
And in the night, I sometimes took the pup up in my room and I stood up before the pup woke up and let him out, play a little bit, and then back to sleep. Stuff like that. But yeah, I took him in the city. I went with the pup in the restaurant. I went shopping with the pup. Stuff like that, going on the stairs in the house, the basement. Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. Back in those days, I actually did work a little bit in a clothing shop, and I asked the lady if I could bring my pup with me, and he was always laying there in his little basket, sleeping, and I was working all day, so it was really cool. I did that with the black Thor, for example. Yeah, that was a nice puppy. A little rat, but he was cool. He looked like a little chihuahua. Yeah, and I think I chose the pup. My dad wasn't happy about it, but he said, "Okay, you choose."
I think he told us that story.
Yeah.
Didn't he tell us that story at New Silver?
Yeah,
He didn't.
yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I heard it a lot. I mean, yeah, could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
They were all small, little black rats like chihuahuas. It was, and they were so loud. I remember it like yesterday, but he was a pretty cool pup. Yeah. So that, of course, is very important in the beginning, and then it takes a lot of time. So don't underestimate it. And it's very important because if you don't do it with your dog, you cannot go on a dog place. If the dog does not know before we go on the field, you must pee and poo. Stuff like that. It's just important. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
What was that?
What was that?
I don't know. So somebody asked who's always clicking the pen. So it's not me.
Oh, it's me.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I thought it was Mike.
Oh, somebody heard that. That's cool.
Wait,
Yeah.
I will show you.
Sorry, people.
Who did
I
that?
don't know who that was.
It was me.
Yeah, so let a pup be a pup. What does that mean to you, Ines? And I'm asking that from my perspective because to me, let a pup be a pup means I struggle with this because I'm very obedience. And, you know, for a dog, that's not good. And you can even tell, even the puppies that I have right now, I know that I've done the same thing. With one of them, I've done it too much. And I'm in the process of fixing that now, you know, trying to open him up.
Yeah.
More. Even, you know, videos that I posted on Facebook make it look like he's full, you know, just excited, full of heart and soul. But if you really know what to look for, you can tell, you know, he's just, he's submissive and just very obedient. So he's at what he does. But, you know, for people like me who are we want results. We want results now.
Yeah.
You know,
no patience. You have no patience. It's hard to have patience.
So,
sometimes I have it too. No patience. But it's just important that sometimes you don't think about it too much, but how can I say it right? Just don't do too much like theory on your dog. Maybe just a little more belly work you know, feeling that just let go a little bit, give a little bit freedom. It's for the dog nice thing. And if they have a lot of freedom and they think always they are in charge, they get very explosive and it's a very important thing actually, because pressure is not always good. You don't always do it on purpose, but you want to do it too good maybe sometimes, and let no mistake happen. And that's sometimes the result.
That's a struggle for a lot of.
I believe so.
Even when you feel like you're being patient, you know, you see other people's dogs and they're moving along fast, and you're like, gotta hurry, you know, I gotta catch up. But then you end up, you know, in my situation.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know who said that. I think it was Hans. He said there's no, what did he say? There's no puppy world championship to win. And that made me really think about it doesn't really matter how fast you progress, because and I think Bart said that most of the dogs that have very fast results, that do very perfect work from the beginning, you will never see later. You will see them as a puppy fighting with 6 months in a suit and all that, but they will burn out and wash out, and you will never see them later.
Yeah, that's true. Could happen, of course. Yeah.
And what I also think is, like you said, sometimes we gotta train a little bit more out of the belly, because since I was at school at Silver School, my training is always, I think about a day before what I will train on the next day, and sometimes it gets too theoretical, and sometimes you overthink your training because you don't want to make any mistake, and that makes it a little bit too strict,
a little bit, you know? Sometimes it makes sometimes the dog flat a little bit, because they sometimes don't dare to do something, you know. Because it is like that. That's correct. We must be patient
and just, sometimes like you said, training a little bit more out of the belly, gut.
Out of the belly. Don't think too much about it. I must admit, sometimes I'm a little bit lazy in thinking. Sometimes I do stuff and people ask me, why do you do it, and I cannot really answer. I just do it because it's in my head, and then it goes fluently, not always without thinking, but sometimes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, of course. I mean,
but that's very honest. That's very honest.
It is like that. You guys know me. We were together in Silver School.
That's right.
So
and Tobias also. We also wanted to have him on the show today, but
well, he is still on the road actually today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if he would like to join us. I'm not sure. But
if he listens to us, so Tobias, have a safe trip home.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
You gotta drag him in.
All right, we have a next question that is also a very good question, because some people make a little bit magic out of selecting a puppy. So it is like that. But myself, I was taking a puppy last week. And I said to the breeder, I don't want to choose the puppy. Show me your favorites, what you would tell me that I have to take. And then I decided between 3 puppies.
So you have a Malin one now, eh? I saw it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
How do you select a puppy?
So, of course, it's a little bit about genetics. It's like with people, you have a stupid example, beautiful people and not so beautiful people and stuff like that. People who can move well and people who cannot move well, but you can learn it. It's a little bit like in the book, The Talent Code. So it's what you make out of it. So you can take any pup, any dog, doesn't matter what breed. You can make a champion out of any dog with the right training. So there is no, of course, you can look, is it a pretty dog? Or you can, of course, never tell that the dog is going to be sick on the elbow or stuff like that. Cancer, I don't know, anything. So there is no trigger. You just make a good dog out of it. That's,
So you don't do any magic tricks. So there are people like they go with a pillow in the kennel, or they throw food on the ground. They throw glass, not glass, but some things on the ground.
No, I mean, I think my dad used to have some tricks from the old days, and I think they always choose the dog that goes away and wants to have his peace and quiet. I believe it was like that, but if I choose a pup, it was always the pup that was happy and coming to me. So and of course it must be, yeah. Sometimes you just feel it a little bit, like
out of the gut.
You have a connection to that dog. There's some dogs that you can handle well, and some dogs that you just notice that it doesn't suit. It is for me like that. Yeah, but there is no magic trick.
Yeah.
With the right training, it's you can make every dog good. So it's simple, I would say.
So when do you start? When do you start actually teaching, like shaping behaviors? Not necessarily putting cues on things, but do you just kind of just wait for those things to happen? Or
well, of course, I also just started back again the training. I was out a long time, and a lot of things changed since that day. I mean, I was away about 10 years. I had no dog, so I had to relearn some things new, like the shaping. And the shaping before, I think I did sometimes without really knowing it, that I'm doing it, you know. And now I just start if the puppy shows a behavior I like. I mean, of course, I see that the boundary is a little bit smaller, so the things would be more likely to happen. You know, you put I don't know, like in a cage or something, and there you put in the forced vegetable, and if the dog is hungry or he will try to do something, put his paw on it or something, then you can click and give food, stuff like that. So yeah, actually pretty soon, of course, we'll do that. But or the clack board, of course. If you would like to go on the clack board, you look that the dog has no other choice than to go on the clack board, so that it looks spontaneous, but it's actually that what you want to happen. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah. So pretty soon, actually, yeah. But sometimes I leer also a little bit, leering. It is, you say, like with the food for stuff. It's a little bit a combination for me. Yeah. But shaping is very important because it makes the dog really, you see the difference. The dogs are crazy. They always think and try and do, and they will always come to you and do their stuff to get your attention or to get one kibble or a ball or anything. You will see it for always. It will never go away, a shaped dog. So it's very important. Yeah. Not only leering, a little bit shaping, combination, I would say. Yeah.
And I think that's very important if you want to do some specific things later when you, so in my opinion, if you say you only want to have a dog that does IGP, for example, then it's not 100% necessary that you have a free thinking dog, because you always have the same routine.
Yeah, that's
what does not mean that you don't have to, or you should not do it, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of things a lot easier if you have a dog that's thinking, that can solve the problem on its own. Always makes your life easier.
Because I had a shepherd there that I did. After so many years, I got a pup again. It was a German shepherd. I still have him. He's really nice, and I shaped a lot with him because for me it was also a little bit trying the new stuff out. So I tried to shape the foos, the healing. So but what I noticed is that I really, really quickly clicked something that was not 100% correct. And it took some time to take that out again. Like I said foos, and he was always like a little bit going a little bit like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think for IGP, because it's must be so perfect. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think sometimes it's the best if you mix it a little bit up. When you
have
a free thinking dog, when you already have a free thinking dog, then you can maybe start doing a little bit luring. So to have the perfect position, the foos position or something like that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong to that.
Yeah. So I sometimes leer a little bit, and then to go out of that, always the same.
Yep.
I double click and I have my food machine over there, and then jackpot or a few kibbles, something like that, to mix it all up a little bit, not so always the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
very nice.
Yeah. Did I answer everything? Or did I forget
no. We have some more questions, but
I mean that one question. I mean, of course, yeah.
Yes, sure. I mean, sure. I would just have a look. What else we can ask? Let me have a look.
Yeah.
There are a lot of very interesting questions, but a lot of questions that I think they're a little bit too specific for some things.
Let's not make it too complicated, please.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit easier if you take it.
Yeah. It's not also easy to always you hear something, and if you're not in it, for me, sometimes it's not easy to explain it. And I'm more like I show you, but I can't.
I mean, you have. I just saw 2 dogs in your.
Yeah, well, she's sleeping now. Yeah.
So that's an interesting question. It's not very specific. It's very specific, but
yeah.
I'm also interested in the answer. So.
Okay. Well.
So somebody's asking. They have a boxer that would rather socialize with a piece of kibble on the floor for 5 minutes before eating it. So I think that's a puppy.
I saw that question. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's barking, growling, talking to the kibble, picking it up, throwing it up before eating it. So it takes for one kibble like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I saw the question and I was thinking about it, and of course that is a problem. But I do believe that if you have a dog like that who maybe does not have the greatest food drive, then you must look that he will eat every kibble out of your hand. He will never get his food elsewhere out of my hand, in the beginning. So I truly believe that he will pick the kibble and eat it if he's hungry. So it must be existential food for sure. Some dogs are like that. I mean, it could be, but
crazy, yeah.
If you never get your food on another place, like on your hand, you know, like the owner, they will eat. I would eat it. I mean,
that's also pretty interesting.
No, but I think you just need to give the dog all the food out of the hand. Only never in a
possibility that you can take it somewhere else.
Yeah, like that. So I think, yeah.
So
or what you guys say.
I think basically I wouldn't give the dog the chance to play with the kibble, because you also don't allow your kids to play with food. So I guess
just take it away, like of course, like
I want to take it away.
Take the food away. It's a very very
you will learn to eat, or
of course, or you have no food, eat it or leave it. It's easy.
So we have another question from Toon. I think I know the answer already, but so he's asking, what kind of data do you collect throughout your training period from your puppy? So do you take notes while you're training every day, or how do you do your training?
Very easy. No, I don't. But I sometimes think it would be better to make some notes. But like I say, I always do it very, very spontaneous. It's not like sometimes it's a method in my head that I say, okay, I must do that and that to do. But it's all from the belly, so I don't take notes. No, it's all in my head. When I know what I need to know. Let's say it like that.
That's women. Women have a good brain, so I can. I can't remember what I trained yesterday sometimes, so I gotta take notes.
Well, that I do remember. Sometimes if I really am in high concentration, I really remember a lot of conversations, faces. That's no problem. So it's in my head.
I think that too, if you're working with 3 or 4 dogs at once, puppies, that's different if you're focusing on 1 or 2 that you really,
of course. Yeah.
So for me, like when I work I have 2 young dogs now, and whenever I work one, I put it up, and if I don't think about it, I get the other one out and try to do. My mind just goes right to, all right, well, I'm, you know, just by default doing the same thing that I did with the first one, and they're two totally different dogs, but you know, but I'm the same person, so I have to switch it up, and I do take notes for those because they're so different that I can't.
But that's a good thing. I mean, that's perfect for me, but I may be a little bit just too lazy for that. Well, but if I had more dogs, maybe if I had 5 or 6 pups, I would also do it. I think my brain is not that, but I mean, for one pup, I can handle it. But it's of course, why not? You can write it down, and I think it would be very interesting to read it. Then you see how it's was and how it is now. It's perfect.
So here's a question.
I see it, I think. Did you ever think of going in competition?
Yeah, you better answer that one right, because...
Well, I...
Who was asking that?
Bart.
Who's asking that? What?
Bart.
Bart? My dad.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I thought about it, but if you go in competition, you need a lot of time, I think, for IGP. Don't you agree, Dominic? You need a lot of time for that because you have to go to other dog places. And like I live in Germany. Germany is a big country. You have to go there and there. You need time. And then with the family, it's not so easy. I have a young kid and, of course, a husband. And yeah. But I would like that. And my husband would like that too, going on competition. We're working on something, yeah.
So that was a loaded question he put up there.
Yeah.
So I think right now we're half an hour ago. So I think right now it's time for a very good question asked by Bart. So he asked us that we should ask you this question. So
he put the question up here.
Did he?
I found it, yeah.
I know. Wait, I think you will ask me, who do you love the most? No, okay.
No,
not that question. Okay.
So it was basically this question. So he asked, how was it growing up with Bart as a father?
Oh,
so
okay. Well, that's a tricky question. What should I say? No.
Perfect.
Well, I have actually good memories about it. I mean, of course, he was also always working with his dogs, but we were there too, and the kids, we were playing everywhere, and so it was actually a nice time. I only have good memories, to be honest. I mean, of course, sometimes things happen. It cannot always be fun in life, but it was fine. What should I say? No, it was, good.
So are you're I'm going to throw this in there too, that way we don't skip over it, but you have a silver school or a new gold school that's scheduled in September, correct?
Yes, 18 till 22 of September, I will have a gold school here in Germany. Yes.
Yeah. So are you going to focus on, I mean, obviously the fundamentals of, NePoPo, hands-on, theory, hands-on, but are you going to like have I don't want to say specialize in something, but is there going to be like a niche involved? Are you going to?
I must say, what is a niche? Sorry, but I don't understand
like
the word.
Specialization. Is there anything that you're going to kind of focus on in particular?
No. Well, of course, I would like to work with pups. It would be really nice that people with pups come there. But if somebody else would like to come with an older dog, we can do the same stuff. It's no problem. You can do it with a big dog too. Yeah. But I, of course, would like to specialize in puppy training. And it's, of course, for people very interesting because it's very, very important that you have the puppy trained in the beginning in the right way, because it makes everything a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm rethinking my whole training program as far as my own dogs. Man, if you just get ignition, if you can get that ignition, then and I have a little fire under me too. I'm being prodded along a little bit, which I like, I need, but, man, if you get that ignition built, everything else just kind of, it comes. I've seen I've changed the way I'm doing things over the last, I would say almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks lately. And it's just a world of difference if you can focus on that fire. And if you do that from a puppy, you know, and you know what you're doing, which I really honestly didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. And so, man, it would just make things so much easier.
Yeah.
It's like Mark always says, huh? When the water's cooking, you can roast spaghetti in it. And then
we're coming out sticky, I guess. But
it's well, I actually must say sometimes I actually not hate, but I really don't like to train with a dog that is already older, and then I mean like maybe a 2-year-old dog that already has learned a lot of shit, that it's not easy to get out. And it's just much more fun if you have a dog that you did, how can you say it, put it like exactly how you want it, every little small detail. That's a fantastic feeling. Yeah.
So we have. Oh.
What's wrong? Of course, I can tell you a story. I see it. Can you remember a day that he was mad at you? Yes, I can. It was a Saturday. It was dog place. It was freezing. It was freezing outside, and I had my how do you say it, skating shoes, my ice skating shoes. I don't know the name of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a little pond outside, and I was on that. And then I came into the dog place, and he said to me, "Don't go on the floor with those things." And I tried to be rude, and I was like stamping on the floor. And then he was mad at me, and then I was like, but it was not too much. And if he was mad at me, he always liked to pretend like he's really mad at me. But he was not. He was just playing a game, you know, and I couldn't recognize it. Yeah, but
so no consequences, huh?
Yeah, no. I was very I had a lot of freedom when I was younger. Yeah, I never had to do something, but I was a very nice kid too, I must say that.
Sure.
No, but yeah. It was all good. Yeah.
So let's do one more question about puppies, and then we will talk a little bit about you and your youth again, I think.
Yeah, that's a hot topic, I guess.
It is, and I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to. But if you're not comfortable, your dad's the one pushing this along.
That's
he's on here. I don't know if you can see this
I wouldn't think it would be somebody else like my dad. It must be my dad. It's typical. Huh? Yeah.
So here we go. How do you redirect biting in I think it's in a puppy, huh? What would be your response to the puppy if they broke your skin when you're playing?
Like if I'm playing and the puppy would accidentally bite me like that, or but not like aggressive, but just
what? I think he means the Beißhemmung.
What do you say?
In German we say Beißhemmung.
Beißhemmung. Yeah, well, German isn't my mother language neither, so
damn.
Yeah, there's a real problem here. Yeah. Well, what would your response to the puppy?
So you know when the puppy takes your finger and chews on your finger, and then it gets harder and harder, and then he breaks the skin.
It depends on it. I mean, if it's getting too rough, then I believe you sometimes must react, and I would maybe grab him a little bit like the mother would do and say, hey, if it's too much. Not in the beginning, give him a little bit space and let him try. But it is important that also in a young age with pups, you cannot only do la la li la la la, no, only positive, because someday he will bite you. I already had that a few times because it's, yeah, you have a high dopamine dogs. They think they're bossy. So it depends on it. If it's just playing, of course, it happens and they can be a little bit rough and they can try. But you, of course, must also say, okay, stop. Not further.
So what would you do?
It's important.
Do you just bite it back, not with your mouth, but with your finger, for example?
Yeah, I would say, hey, like the mother would do it, like, hey, don't do it. Yeah, maybe the voice a little bit. Yeah, like that.
I think there's not much else you can do. I mean,
yeah, what can you do? It happens.
If you let it happen, and the dog gets more angry and angry, and
that's not good. No, of course not. Yeah. Depends on the situation, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to know when they have to stop. If you
When
say
it's
stop,
enough.
then they must stop. That's important, yeah. Or they will bite you later.
It is, yeah.
That's no fun. Yeah.
Reading a question.
I was also reading the question because it's pretty long. But yeah, I think we can show it. But it's very long. So perhaps it's an obvious answer, but I must ask. In a country where e-collars are outlawed, has that affected your process pertaining to puppy indoctrination? Obviously, the e-collar comes into play much later, but I'm curious if there are components of your imprinting process that have been modified accordingly. Interesting question.
So I must read it again. It is indeed really long.
Yeah, take your time. It's no problem.
So in a country where e-collars are outlawed,
so that means e-collars are banned in Germany.
Yeah. Well, that they mean if it has an effect on my training.
On your training,
no, it has no effect. It's no problem. We just do our stuff. Why not?
I think NePoPo is not all about e-collars. Huh?
No, of course not. It's much more than the e-collar. You can also train NePoPo without an e-collar. It does not necessarily has something to do with e-collar. You can, but you must not.
Yeah, and you always have to stick to your laws that are in your country. Huh? And you don't need an e-collar to use negative reinforcement. Huh?
No, of course. You must always look at that. It's very important. Yeah. So, no.
So, I hope that answers your question, Bob. A little bit. so let's see if we have one more question from Bart.
Wait, was that the wrong?
No, we already.
Yeah, we already answered that.
Yeah. Oh, how did you come in contact with Nello and Patrash?
I have no idea what that means, but you will know it.
Nello and Patrash, it's actually it's a story about a dog and a boy, and the boy is living with his grandfather.
Yeah.
And he's selling milk. I believe milk it was. So every day he did his routine. He went to the houses. The dog was pulling the car. I don't know how to say it. Like the horse pulls the wagon, a wagon with milk. Yeah, it's a story about that. It's actually for children, and I think if I'm not wrong, in Japan, it's like they have to read it at school, I believe. And it is in a place, Hoboken. So the boy every day walks from Hoboken to Antwerp. It's a few kilometers. Winter, summer, doesn't matter, to earn the money. And yeah, you guys don't know the story?
I have never heard of that story.
Really? I actually have a tattoo with, but I cannot show it.
It's too early for that.
Yeah, we cannot do that. But it's a really beautiful story. I actually have it and bought it in German. No, it's not in German. I have it in Dutch. And sometimes I read it to my boy, and he really loves it. And my dad, of course, used to read that story for me. And he always exaggerated a little bit the story, and there was a lot of blood, and the boy and that person died, and I was like, screaming, and it was terrible. But yeah, it's a really pretty story. You should read it.
Yeah, so we have another question.
Yeah.
It's from Michael.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, you should tell about school. I'm not sure if she means...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, that's something. So when I was younger, I always wanted to win.
Like a dad?
Game. I always wanted to be the best. So it was like a little bit sickness. So I think my parents took me to a doctor or something. I don't know. Or it was in school, and they said that I have how should I say it? I wanted to win everything so badly and wanted to do everything so perfectly that I was stuck, that I couldn't go further, and I would go crazy. So they told me they should change something. I mean, they told my parents they should change something. And every time I had a bad grade, say it like that, great notes at school. My dad gave me, well, I think it was about, I don't want to do, I think about 50 euros maybe for bad note. Like, how is it in the US? I think you have a E or something if you fail. Is it like that?
An F. Yeah, yeah.
Or an F, yeah, an F. So if I had an F, I received money. So I always had bad notes. And my dad gave me money, and nobody could believe it. I think I'm the only child in the world that ever, received money for bad notes. It was cool, and I didn't do much at school. But yeah, it helped me. Of course, it helped me. Yeah, but that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, for you, it was awesome. So I never got money for bad grades.
Yeah, I never got.
I never had pressure. So I mean, I did like school. I must admit that. I like to be home with everybody and do the stuff there. And I hated school. So, and yeah, if I couldn't do it right immediately without an effort, I would go crazy. And I still have it a little bit sometimes. If it's, then I go crazy. And my son also has it. I noticed. Yeah, he's going to school. So he's the same. Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah. I think it would have been terrible for me if I had always the pressure of you must learn and you must have good notes. I think maybe you create the opposite then, eh? So, but like I said, I was a good kid at home. I never did bad stuff or something. So maybe it's a good way sometimes. Yeah, a lot of freedom. Like for the dogs, it's not too bad.
When they're young, just let them free, let them be.
Yeah, let them try out a little bit and so important.
Drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes.
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
But not too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So, well.
So I go. That's a good question.
Are you? Yeah. Are you going to pay your son for bad?
Well, to be honest, I'm thinking about it. How to motivate him. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I should do a little bit of combination, you know.
Maybe you should do a little bit of combination of NePoPo and your.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know. But until now, he has a good note, so he's doing very well. So yeah.
Money to pay him, huh?
No, not yet. But I will try that. That's for sure. It worked on me. Yeah.
All right. What do we have? At what age of the pup would Bart take the puppy from you?
I think, well, in the beginning, he just let me do, of course. And he said, you must change that. Now you do like this and like that. Because I had to learn it too. And then I think he noticed that if the dog becomes a little bit too dominant, you know, because I always did very a lot positive.
Yeah.
And it creates,
yeah.
Sometimes a little bit monsters. They think they use you. The dog uses you actually because you're the feeding machine, and they don't respect you. So I think about maybe 8 months or something like that. Sometimes about 8 months. Yeah, most of the time I cannot really recall because I made no notes, as I told you. Yeah, about 8 months.
Just whenever the dog was strong enough.
Yeah, strong enough to be taken. You see it. You just see it. Yeah. It's time that they have another handler. It's like with my shepherd. I had my shepherd, and then he was about, I think, 8-9 months, and then my husband said to me, "I take your dog now." Not because he was aggressive or dominant, not like that, but just it's time to move over. And the dog was really, or is really big, and I'm very small, so it really looked shitty, I must say. If I said Foos, it was like, yeah. It didn't look nice. And yeah, my husband is big and it suits. And yeah, he's doing good. It's perfect. I don't think it's a bad system if you do it like that. Somebody raises the pup, and maybe if the water is boiling or if it's time, you just pass the dog over to somebody else. It's a good system, actually. Yeah, I believe in it.
He mentioned that on here. He's on here somewhere. He was watching.
Tobias.
He mentioned getting that dog from you.
Oh, he did? Yeah. Uber.
Yeah.
Uber, yeah, like your dog.
Like my dog.
We watched what was the show again? Vikings. Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I think we do one more question.
Sven.
Yeah, and it's from Sven, our good friend Sven. And
Sven.
what is your favorite breed? I think that's...
Well, of course, it must be Malinois. Ecollars. Yeah. It's...
Yeah.
You just cannot compare it with any other dog. I mean, of course, I don't know much about other breedings, but I know a little bit about German Shepherds. They're also very nice dogs. I mean, yeah, they just sometimes have problems with the health, but the Malinois maybe too, and a lot of other dogs have it. But yeah, Malinois is for me the best dog. Yeah.
What other breed is there?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna comment on that.
100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta look over your plate to see other things,
Yes,
and not just what you know.
But to be honest, I had my shepherd. I only had one shepherd before in my life, and he was sick, so he died on Sunday. But they're also very nice dogs as shepherds. So if they were sometimes a little bit more like healthy, and then I mean, it's just they're so big, and if you do some stuff with them and they jump out of the car, and it could be already that the shit happens, you know. So such nice dogs too, I must admit. Yeah, and pretty. But Malinois is just, yeah. I grew up with it, so what can I say? What can I say?
Yeah, so we have like 100 more questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, we don't do that. We don't do all that. So
coming.
Because otherwise we won't get. It's getting late for us in Germany also.
Yeah.
And I think. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I know people have dropped questions, but you can look back through the questions too, and if you see one that and answer them. So just because your question's not answered on here, we only have so much time, and so we'll just look back through them, and Ines can she can check them out, and
I can do that. Of course,
that way. But
maybe
don't rush her. She's got to get some sleep too.
I have to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. But I drank some coffee, so I'm okay now. Yeah. No, it's fine. Maybe another day we can talk some more about.
Hopefully, I hope.
Other stuff.
I mean, it was awesome to have you on. I think we had some pretty interesting topics covered. We had pretty funny questions. They were really, really funny. So, Ines, thank you for being with us tonight.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, sure. And if you're from Germany, just send Ines a message for the new Gold School if you already have done new Silver School, or you can do it in August in Holland. For us Europeans, there will be a new Silver School. So I don't know 100% the date, but
I think it was about the 6th or 7th, about 7 August, something like that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, let me check.
We will be there too. Sorry, I don't have it in the head.
So it's from the 7th of August till the 9th of August. So there will be the new Silver School in Holland.
Yeah.
And maybe you can just tell again the date from your new Gold School that will be in your area.
So my Gold School will be about the 18th until 22 of September this year. Yeah, so everybody's welcome. I already had a lot of people writing me about it, but a lot of people don't seem to know that they first have to go to silver, and then they can come to gold. So sometimes maybe I don't think that's maybe clear. And if they have that, then of course they're very welcome to join my school.
Yeah, and we'll put or you can just drop in the comments like the link to your, how they can contact you for Gold School.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you can find her on the NePoPo website too, so you can reach her through there. But we'll try to drop everything, make it easy, so you can pretty quick.
Nice.
All right.
So
that's it for today. So we will go over the questions that were not answered. We'll go over them maybe tomorrow. and we'll answer all the other questions that we still have. And you will put your banner for your new goals school in the comments so everybody knows where and who to contact. And thank you guys for joining. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the very interesting questions that came.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it for the day.
Fun.
Have a nice evening, everybody,
Yeah.
or a nice
Thank you
day.
very much.